wash my soul in the ocean, in the tears of God, I let it go.
Gemini, July 2020. Whether you're Gemini rising, sun, or moon, this video is for you. And do check the 3 signs. Very, very hectic month again. Actually, the themes that you're going to start seeing now, they will affect you for the next 6 months. So July will give you an inkling, an idea of what is to come for the next 6 months. And most of our energies will be focused in 2 areas. The first one is when Mars is moving for you. Gemini, this is going to be your 11th house. It's going to stay there for 6 months till the end of the year. And it's in Aries, and it's the strongest Mars we've had in 40 years. It's never been closer to Earth. It was that close to Earth at the start of the Second World War. Amazing. Okay, not saying the Second World War is starting, but Mars is very strong, which means the next 6 months of our lives we'll have some battle to fight. We'll have to arm ourselves up in certain area of life, and we'll be given a lot of willpower and strength for that. And you'll start feeling it more and more from July, from the start, gradually, with a peak September, October, and November, this battle that is forming up, that you're able to achieve something of great feat, of great willpower in your life. And it's happening in your 11th house, which is quite a good house, actually. Mars likes transiting that house. So 11th house is the house of your dreams and wishes, things that make you happy, basically, things that make you embrace society, to embrace you, things that makes you gains. Is the house of gains. So if you have your own business, it's your business gains. If you work somewhere, it's your salary or a bonus that you can receive. Or if you're an artist, it's not only the money you can make, but the recognition, the fan base you can have as well, the following that you can have. So all those things that you're, how do I say, loved by the public that give you gains. So now you're starting 6 months of very focused activity in that area of life, and you'll be like a warrior. You'll be like so disciplined there. Mars, where it goes, gives you ambition, drive to really go after your dreams and goals. In your case, Gemini, to really, if you've been postponing wanting to do something for a long time, whether it's to get a bigger salary, whether it's to dreams and goals might be to be a member of certain society, or to have some business project that you want to do. It's something that you've dreamed for, something that you've wanted. Now you have a unique chance for the next 6 months to have a breakthrough there, to really and it will involve your efforts, because this is Mars. It's not given to you, but you will be given the energy, the drive, and the ambition to achieve it. So you can have like a breakthrough by the end of the year, starting gradually from July, and the peak of the battle and the efforts, September, October, November. But by the end of the year, you can achieve something of tremendous value in regards to gaining and earth capabilities for you. Maybe you can have to work very hard on something and you get a big bonus at the end. Or maybe you start working on a dream and a goal of yours that you had. Or if you can achieve like a breakthrough in the public eye. For example, if you want to be a media star, if you want to create some business where you want to reach lots of people and clients, it's again the 11th house. To expand in some sense your public presence, or reach more clients, more connections, your network. And Mars it's almost like you're going to do it through your own will. You cannot rely on someone to invite you to the right channel, whatever. You need to take the initiative. You need to, for example, you want to be a member of some organization or whatever, you have to go and propose and say, I'm the best for you. I need to be member here. I can contribute or whatever. Or you can have a business offer that you need to go and propose to others. You're the one who needs to initiate those steps. But again, Mars will motivate you and you give you the drive to finally take those steps towards the goals that you want. And again, also working very hard on achieving more rewards and more gains, but be careful, because it can indicate also Mars has its edgy side, which is conflict, confrontations with friends, with your social people in your social environment, colleagues, workmates. You might be fighting with such people, especially the peak. You'll notice if problems are starting to come from July and August. You'll notice that you're surrounded by more ambitious people, people that have very strong opinions. Mars has very strong opinion, and that you're clashing. You might be clashing heads with them. Another thing, so you have to be careful with that. You might be end up to having to reevaluate some friendships by the middle of this transit. Another way that it can play out is that you might find yourself joining groups or political organizations or like-minded ideological organizations. For example, people that like astrology, you might like join them and do something actively with them, or people and get actively involved with posts or activities with them, or get actively involved with another group like, I don't know, or Black Lives Matter, or you can find yourself being extremely socially active starting from July. Maybe start attending rallies, because the 11th house is the house of the social life, of big groups and movements, of rights movements of any sorts, political ideologies. You might find yourself fighting a lot about your political ideologies, Gemini, and you're not gonna back down. Some of you might be great, for example, now to start on a campaign, to be like the frontmen of campaign, to the door-to-door, whatever, any kind of campaign, not just political, might be business or whatever, to have a breakthrough, to gather a bigger crowd around you, to be the one with the megaphone leading leading rallies, or just exciting people to do something. And again, if you're a public figure, 11th house is your following, your audience, your clients of any sort. So the negative side, you can fight with them. The positive side, you can have a very strong message for them. You can do some very powerful activities and initiatives with such people that combines you in a more opinionated and stronger core together, and that will end by the end of the year, but the results will be long lasting after that. But by the way, I'll be talking way more in depth about Mars in Aries in my first solo webinar since 2 years. I haven't done one in a long time, and I will give you with it. It's only $39 till the 1st of July. You can watch it live or recording after that, and I will give you 6 months of free transit, so you can track all your transits from July till the end of the year, which usually costs $15. So I would include it in the price of the webinar. And we'll talk about how Mars in Aries is going to affect you and how you can benefit the most from it. This Mars in Aries will be turning lives around, but it will be making specific aspects to everyone's chart as well. You don't need to know any astrology. I would explain you everything. You might just know that you're Gemini, that's all. And I would lead you in this webinar that will be 4 or 5 hours, how the next 6 months are going to play out in your life, where will be the stresses in your life, and how to overcome them and how to make the best out of them. Okay, so do join me, 1st of July. Then, or I'll watch it after that if you didn't catch it on the 1st of July. Then there is eclipses happening for the last time on the axis, one eclipse, on the axis of your 2nd and 8th house. They've been happening for the last 2 years, Capricorn, Cancer, 2nd, 8th house, which is your resources and other people's resources. The eclipse that the month starts with on the 5th of July is in your 8th house, which means you have to, in the next few months after that, you have to complete some project that is mutual project with another person that involves their resources or something. Or it might be that you decide to remove from your life as a final gesture certain resources that you are reliant on from others. So just the universe can say, okay, you need to become self-reliant. So this source of income you're relying on that comes to you from another can be removed, can be taken away. And most it can indicate like you lose some source of financial support from certain old clients, but you no longer need those clients. And you see Mars getting mobilized in your 11th house, because the 8th house is your clients' resources and money. The 11th house is new clients or new following that you can build. So Mars, even if you lose some, you let go of some resources and sources of income that come to you from others, don't worry, because Mars will mobilize you to find new such, to break through on new following and clients. But also it can mean that this is the conclusion of this eclipse in your 8th house, maybe money that you've been expecting, whether from alimony or something, it can finally come. For example, an eclipse, lunar eclipse, can mean something ends, it finally is completed, you see the results of it. You can also indicate Saturn is coming back to your 8th house to the end of the year. So it can create a little bit more emotionally charged time again in this 8th house, which means it's the last opportunity you have starting from July to work on some internal issues, on some psychological blockages, and especially on trauma and pain from the past. You've been doing this for the past 2 years already, but Saturn is coming for the last time in this 8th house. So some feelings of sadness and the pain can come back to you, to be reworked the deepest, and to be fully, so you can be fully released from them by December 2020. But you might have to do some deep work with a psychologist, with an astrologer, with someone who understands the soul, who understands the deep motivation, with a counselor of some sort. So it's going to be good time for such things, introspective looking within, trying to discover secrets and secret motivations and traumas, and to work through the pain of them. And Jupiter is helping you for that. So is the eclipse in Capricorn that's helping you release old karma. So this month can be quite emotionally charged in July because of all those planets in your 8th house, and you might be involved with a lot of secret activities or hidden activities. 8th house also rules secret relationships of some sort, and secret money. You might be working with some money that is secret, or that is, and you can gain something financially in a secret way, in a more kind of unregimented. Also, it can mean that you're asked to complete something connected to taxes, to insurances and inheritances, to put extra effort and fix it and resolve it. But it can first get more complicated. There is an eclipse there, Saturn is moving, you have to make a big push and resolve issues with alimonies, with payments coming to you from others, insurances, inheritances, and taxes. And on the deep level, this is also what's that called? Intimacy. It's a house of sexually intimacy and trust towards others. You have 6 more months to work on the deep intimacy and fear issues that you have. Also, unfortunately, Saturn can block a little bit the sexual part, and by the end of the year, you'll be released by Mars in the 8th, Saturn, in the 8th house. And any sexual blockages would be resolved, you'll be released from them. But it might be the last time you kind of have a chance for the next few months, starting from July, to work on, to think on, to remove. Saturn is to remove any kind of intimacy blockages on a deep level that block you from, having relationships that feel like merging with another on a deep level. And of course, the eclipse is in your 8th house, but Mercury and the Sun are in your 2nd house. So I would advise you this month at least till the 2nd house is your finances and resources. So at least till the middle of the month, don't take financial risks with your money or other people's money. Don't start new activities that are connected to, say, deciding that you're gonna buy with your money something that you've never bought before. You're just working till the middle of the month to sort out old financial instabilities. And from the middle of the month, they start improving. If there are any financial stresses with your own money, Mercury starts moving direct in your 2nd house. So you start resolving them. If you had any conflict with others about resources, finances, support, they start getting resolved from the middle of the month. Or if some money was delayed for you, it starts getting resolved from the middle of the month, some payments or whatever. Oh, you see a lot of the planets are connected to gains, resources, money, your money, other people's money. So it's about a month where you're actively working on your security, financial, emotional, security, and solving such problems. And there's this push and pull between the 2nd and the 8th house, where Mercury and the Sun are in your 2nd house, and Saturn, Jupiter, Pluto, and the eclipse in your 8th house. So Eighth house is other people's money or what they give to you. Second house is what you bring to the table and your resources. So there might be this push and pull between your money, partner's money, how much you give, how much they give in a relationship, or even business partnerships, how much you put if you're collaborating with someone, how much resources and energy you put compared to how much resources and energies they put. So there can be some clash when it comes to such matters. Or maybe your partner, are you always the one? And you'll be like, oh, I'm always the one doing everything at home, putting all my energy. What do you contribute? So you might have to have such confrontation in July about such topics, and hopefully you can resolve them and then move on, because all those eclipses finish after July. All those difficult topics finish after July as well. So yes, might be a bit more stressful financially, especially till the middle of the month. But after that, especially with the last, towards the 20th of July, there is a new moon in Cancer, which is new beginnings in your second house of money, with no more eclipses. This is the first new moon in Cancer you're having in 2 years without an eclipse, so it's not critical financially so much or stressful, which can bring new beginnings financially for you from the end of the month. New opportunities financially, new opportunities for for resources and such matters. But yes, till the middle of the month, just more careful because of the eclipses and that. In your second house with finances, you might be re-examining what you're eating and what you're putting in your body till the middle of the month. This is the second house again. Your finances, rebudgeting, and so on. And now let's end on a positive note. Venus will be in your sign. It's been already in June and part of May in your sign, but it will be now resplendent. It will be bright as a morning star, visible, so it's very strong. Plus, it's moving forward. So, it's in Gemini. So, this is fantastic because you're going to have a great help from Venus. Despite everything else that is happening, Venus says you'll be graceful, you'll be liked, you'll attract support. You'll even become more attractive by the end of the month. You'll notice that you've become more beautiful. You'll notice that your skin might have improved. You'll notice that your appearance, a new look, improved look. Venus can bring you a new wardrobe. It can bring you new, the pleasures, the sensual pleasures, food, drinks. Even Venus can even bring love to some of you. Not for everyone, but there is great possibility, some of you who are Gemini rising, sun or moon, some very pleasant experiences with your partner already that you have, like a great date or even a new date that you can meet now, because Venus brings all those pleasures. Also, Venus rules your 12th house. It can bring to you, and it's in the first house, passing your sign, it can bring to you some travel or some secret pleasure, even some private affair. But that's pleasant, that brings you enjoyment. Someone writes to you a nice compliment, or someone on the internet starts talking to you, and you kind of, oh, this feels pleasant. It's like hidden support to you. And of course, Venus rules your 5th house of romance, so there is a possibility for romance to come or to start moving well ahead if there are complications with your romantic life and fun and enjoyment. When Venus is in your sign, moving direct already, everything starts getting better and better on that area. And of course, ruling the 5th house, it can mean that children will be very much at the forefront. Some of you might even get pregnant now if they want to. Some of you just love is kind of in the air for you, despite the other more difficult things, like, this 8th house that you're trying to work for the final time on healing from some trauma or some pain. And some intimacy issues, but Venus starts bringing already it's like a lubricant, relaxing. You feel like attractive. You feel, like a very sensual woman. Even if you're a man, you feel like in a more loving, in a more relaxed and zen state. So even I think it's gonna be a good time if you can travel somewhere, go on some trip, enjoy yourself, have a holiday. All right, thank you so much. And if you want to see your specific transits, the ones that no one else in the world has but you, I have a transit calendar. No one else in the world has this transit calendar, and it's for free. And you see all your transits for the next 5 to 7 days. You can click on them, read what it is. No one else in the world will have the same transits. 40,000 people are using it already. So join it, register, and watch a transit. So these will be not necessary for you, those monthly horoscopes, because it will be way more specific than what I'm giving you. Thank you so much.